beloved divine presence, as I stand in the midst of these walls that I call home, I offer this prayer from the depths of my heart, seeking blessing, peace, and a protective light that shall fill every inch of this space. I recognize that a home is not merely a structure built of bricks and wood. Rather, it is an extension of the human spirit, a sacred sanctuary where we lay our heads to rest, share laughter with loved ones, and dream of the life we long to create. I come before you now to invite your healing energy and gentle guidance, so that every corner of this dwelling might resonate with harmony, compassion, and the warmth of divine grace. It is said that the home reflects the souls of those who inhabit it, and I humbly ask that you cleanse and purify our hearts, even as you cleanse and purify these rooms, so that no negativity may linger here, and no harmful influence may find a foothold within these walls. I acknowledge that negative energies can sometimes be subtle, creeping in through moments of anger, fear, or despair, or even through the echoes of past conflicts that remain like shadows. And so I pray that every shadow within this home be illumined by your light, every haunting memory be gently transformed into a lesson of growth, and every bitter residue of strife be melted away by the tender warmth of unconditional love. Let the air here be bright and clear, so that all who enter feel an immediate sense of ease, comfort, and serenity. Let them know, even without words, that this home stands under the watchful protection of a benevolent force that cares for each soul, each intention, and each dream that is nurtured within. May negativity scatter like mist before the rising sun, unable to remain in the presence of radiant mercy. And let the very atmosphere itself be charged with kindness, compassion, and the willingness to forgive and to learn. I ask that you walk through every doorway and corridor, imbuing this place with a soothing presence. Let the floors become like sacred ground, reminding me and everyone who passes through that we tread upon hallowed space, a space chosen for fellowship, rest, rejuvenation, and love. Let the windows and doors be pathways of welcome to those who carry goodwill, while serving as firm barriers against any harmful intent or malevolent force. If there is any unease, any disquiet, any lingering sense of tension, I ask that you transform it now into understanding and reconciliation. If the house has been touched by arguments or regrets of the past, may the spiritual echo of those moments be cleansed, leaving behind only the wisdom gleaned from adversity. Let no bitterness cling like dust in the corners of our memories. Instead, let sweet forgiveness flow, reminding us that we are all works in progress on this earthly journey. I turn my attention now to the objects that fill the rooms, the furniture, the decorations, and even the humble items we use daily. These things, too, can absorb energies, carrying traces of past events, moods, or intentions. I humbly ask that you bless them, from the largest piece of furniture to the smallest keepsake, so that everything in this home might vibrate with positivity and love. Let nothing remain that resonates with sorrow or negativity, but let each item become a token of reassurance and beauty. If any object in this dwelling has been a source of painful memories, I pray that it be gently repurposed or released, allowing space for items that spark hope and reflect the ever-evolving spirit of this household. I pray that each room become a reflection of those who live here, a place of creativity, warmth, and expression, a container for both the laughter of new beginnings and the tender tears of growth. May all who dwell within these walls feel free to be themselves, free to explore new dreams and new possibilities without fear of judgment or rejection. 1, 2. I pray for special protection over the thresholds of this home. Let them be symbolic gates of grace, welcoming only that which nourishes the spirit and fortifies the bonds of friendship and family. Should any energy or presence with ill intent attempt to cross these boundaries, let it be stopped as though by an invisible shield of compassion and strength, one that does no harm but simply prevents discord from gaining entry. Where there is love, fear cannot flourish. And I ask that the love in this home be abundant enough to shield everyone who enters, wrapping them in a sense of belonging and safety. If there be individuals who come to this home carrying their own burdens of negativity, let this environment act as a gentle field of healing, so that they might leave feeling lighter, as if some weight has been lifted from their shoulders. May they sense that within these walls, a higher presence abides, one that silently whispers of forgiveness, renewal, and the chance to begin again. 3. 4. I pray for those who reside under this roof, family members, housemates, or even transient guests who may stay for a short while. May each person's unique spirit contribute to the collective harmony of this home. Where there is difference, let there be respectful dialogue and mutual growth. Where there is misunderstanding, let there be willingness to listen and to reconcile. Where there is pain, let there be an outstretched hand offering comfort. Let the relationships that unfold here be grounded in empathy, honesty, and a recognition of one another's worth. Grant that these bonds become ever stronger, ever more resilient, fortified by mutual support and shared moments of joy. And should disagreements arise, as they do in the natural course of human interaction, let them be opportunities to practice patience and love, rather than sources of resentment or disharmony. May each heart in this home be open to learning, healing, and transforming, so that negativity finds no fertile ground in which to root. 5. 6. I ask, 2. For the blessing of laughter, for I believe laughter is one of the greatest forms of medicine. Let this home ring with genuine, wholehearted mirth, the kind that breaks tension and renews the soul, bridging gaps between generations, cultures, and beliefs. Laughter has a way of clearing stagnant energy, reminding us that life, though serious at times, is also filled with wonder, surprise, and simple delights. May all who dwell here remember to find humor in the small things and to cherish moments of shared joy. For these moments become the memories we lean on when life grows heavy, when sorrow does visit, as it must, in the ebb and flow of existence. Let the walls of this home provide solace and understanding, becoming a cocoon of gentleness until the heart is ready once again to face the world. Let tears be shed freely and safely here, knowing that they, too, can be part of the cleansing process, releasing what no longer serves us and making space for something new. In these times of trial, may compassion be the cornerstone, ensuring that no one suffers in silence, but rather receives the love and support needed to heal. 7. 8. As the divine presence continues to envelop this place, I pray also for the spirit of gratitude to flourish. Gratitude is a potent force that dispels negativity by anchoring us in the awareness of blessings, both great and small. Let us be grateful for the roof that shelters us, the warmth that greets us in colder days, the fresh air that flows through open windows, and the daily sustenance that nourishes our bodies. Let us be mindful of the countless ways in which life sustains and surprises us. From the gentle morning sun that spills across the floor to the sound of rain that lulls us to sleep at night, when we focus on what we have, on the gifts each new day brings, we cultivate a mindset that is less prone to fear and more open to hope. May each person here feel moved to say thank you for the smallest of comforts, for the intangible gifts of friendship, family, and creativity, and for the sheer miracle of existing in a world where love is possible. 9. 10. I ask that any lingering spirits or energies that might dwell here, bound by old stories or unresolved paths, find their release. If any presence remains that is not in alignment with love, may it be lifted into the light, guided gently by higher forces to a place of understanding, peace, and resolution. This is not an eviction rooted in hatred or fear, but rather an invitation for all beings to find the healing they need. The walls of this home are hallowed by the intention of love, and in love, there is room only for harmony and growth. May this environment serve as a bridge between worlds, a place where the seen and unseen coexist in a benevolent dance of co-creation, always guided by compassion and respect for one another's journeys. 11. 12. I extend this prayer even to the boundaries of this property, from the yard or garden spaces to every fence and border. Let the earth beneath us be blessed and nurtured, free from pollutants of both a physical and an energetic nature. May the soil that cradles our foundations be fertile ground for life, symbolic of the growth we cultivate within ourselves. If there are plants, trees, or flowers, may they flourish under the watchful care of the divine, adding their vibrant energy to the tapestry of our home. Let them serve as gentle reminders of the cycles of life, birth, growth, decay, and rebirth, teaching us that no season lasts forever and that beauty can always re-emerge in new forms. May the creatures that pass through, birds, insects, small animals, be messengers of balance and grace, weaving their presence into the chorus of nature's symphony. 14. I pray for ongoing discernment, so that I might sense whenever any form of negativity tries to creep back into this home. Let my intuition be sharp, my empathy keen, so that I can recognize subtle shifts in the atmosphere. When I sense discord, let me approach it, not with panic, but with calm reflection, addressing the root of the problem and inviting solutions steeped in compassion. May I remember that negativity often gains strength when it is ignored or suppressed, and so let me address it openly, shining the light of understanding upon it until it dissipates. If my own emotions trigger disharmony, if I find myself dwelling in anger, envy, or hopelessness, let me have the humility to acknowledge it and the willingness to seek guidance, whether through prayer, conversation, or inner reflection. Teach me to be a guardian of this space, aligning my thoughts, words, and actions with the peace I wish to maintain here. 16. I also pray for a spirit of hospitality, asking that this home be a welcoming space not only for those who live here, but for guests, travelers, and even strangers who may need a moment of refuge. Let kindness be the hallmark of our household, so that anyone who enters through these doors can feel safe, respected, and valued. May we offer a cup of warmth, be it tea, coffee, or simple conversation, so that no one who passes through remains untouched by the generosity of an open heart. Even the simplest of gestures, done with sincerity, can serve as profound blessings. Let these walls echo with stories shared among friends, with gentle music, with the aroma of meals lovingly prepared, and with the quiet comfort of souls who feel they have found a resting place amid the busyness of life. And when those guests depart, may they carry with them a spark of the positive energy cultivated here, spreading it into the world as a ripple of goodness. 18. Yet even as I invite others in, I pray for the boundaries that preserve our peace. Let it be clear that while all are welcome to find solace and companionship here, ill will has no seat at the table. If someone arrives in pain or confusion, let us show them empathy, but also trust that the strong protective light of this home can keep negativity from taking root. We are not responsible for solving the entirety of anyone else's turmoil, but we can remain a beacon, standing firm in the integrity of our own spiritual commitment. May we strike that delicate balance between compassion and self-care, between warmth and mindful caution, so that what is cultivated here is sustainable and genuine. Let no negativity exploit our kindness, and let no cynicism dampen our willingness to show love. 20. Above all, let the great truth of love be felt here, not a love confined merely to romance or familial ties, but the universal love that transcends differences of background, belief, or personality. Let that love be the common language spoken in this dwelling, an unspoken contract that every inhabitant and visitor learns to honor. In a world so often fraught with division, may this home be a microcosm of unity, where we see the essence of one another without judgment. Show us how to live in such a way that we become living examples of the ideals we profess in prayer, bridging the gap between spiritual aspiration and daily reality. Grant us patience for our human imperfections and the determination to keep growing, keep learning, keep refining our capacity to love. 22. I humbly acknowledge my own role in maintaining the sacredness of this environment. Let me be ever mindful of my thoughts and intentions as I move about these rooms. Let me speak words that uplift rather than demean. Let me engage in activities that deepen my sense of connection to the divine and to those around me. If I am prone to negativity on any given day, let me pause and center myself, remembering that every emotion is transient and that returning to love is always a choice available to me. Let me cultivate daily habits that reinforce positivity, such as lighting a candle in gratitude, playing soft music that inspires peace, or simply sitting in quiet reflection and affirming that this home is a vessel of goodness. Let me also be open to change, for a space must evolve alongside the people who inhabit it, reflecting their growth, shifts, and new understandings of the world. 23, 24. In the quiet hours of the night, when darkness settles and the bustle of day is stilled, may this home remain under your vigilant care. If there are children sleeping here, protect their dreams and nurture their innocence. If there are elders, wrap them in comfort and assurance that they are cherished. If there are couples, bless their union with communication, respect, and enduring affection. If someone sleeps alone, let them know they are never truly by themselves, for your presence is their constant companion. Under the veil of moonlight, let no worry or nightmare hold sway over any mind. Instead, let restorative sleep cradle each person, replenishing them for the dawn that lies ahead. And when morning light peers through the windows, let each day begin with renewed hope, a fresh sense of purpose, and a reconnection to the vow that this home shall serve as a sanctuary of positivity. 25, 26. Should storms come literal or figurative, let this home stand firm. Let the walls not be shaken by adversity. Let the foundation not crack under emotional pressures or unforeseen external challenges. If illness, financial strain, or heartbreak enters our lives, may we find the strength to endure and to overcome. Through each trial, let us draw closer, supporting one another and remembering that even in hardship, blessings can be found if we have the eyes to see them. Let these walls hear not the echoes of hopelessness, but the murmurs of collective resolve. For a challenge shared is a challenge halved, and a sorrow comforted is a sorrow transformed. Let resilience be woven into the very fabric of this home, so that its story is one of perseverance, faith, and eventual triumph. 27, 28. May this home also inspire creativity, for creativity is a joyful expression of the soul, whether it is through art, cooking, crafting, writing, or music. Let these rooms be filled with the sparks of inspiration that come when the mind feels safe and the spirit feels nurtured. Let each occupant discover or rediscover their passions, unburdened by fear or doubt. And if self-doubt does arise, let it be gently challenged by the supportive energy that pervades this place, reminding each person that within them lies a wellspring of imaginative potential. In these explorations, negativity has no soil to thrive in, for where creativity blossoms, positivity and curiosity naturally flourish. Let the synergy of minds and hearts engaged in creation further anchor this home as a beacon of light, proving that when we allow our gifts to flow, we become vessels of beauty and transformation. 29:30. I pray now for lasting harmony. While I recognize that conflict and trials are inevitable parts of life, I trust that the spirit of peace can prevail even amid difficulties. Let forgiveness be swift, let understanding be deep, and let anger be released before it can harden into bitterness. Guide us to find solutions that respect each person's dignity, ensuring that no one's voice goes unheard. Let the peacemaking process here be an example we can carry into the broader world, showing how differences might be resolved through empathy and fair-mindedness. In so doing, this home becomes not just a refuge, but a training ground for living with compassionate integrity, extending beyond these walls into workplaces, schools, and communities. 31:32. I affirm that the blessing placed upon this home is not a one-time event, but an ongoing relationship with the divine. May we revisit this prayer often, renewing and reaffirming our commitment to uphold love and dispel negativity. Let each day be a fresh invitation to infuse these rooms with kindness, humility, and gratitude. As time passes, may the energy here continue to deepen in spiritual richness, so that years from now, this home remains a testament to the steadfastness of a heart guided by higher principles. The material structure might age, paint might fade, furniture might be replaced, but the essence of holiness that we cultivate can only grow stronger and more radiant with each loving act performed under this roof. 33-34. With full sincerity, I offer my thanks for the protection, peace, and grace that flow from the divine source into every aspect of this household. There is no aspect too small or mundane to be touched by spiritual light, for in the tapestry of life, every thread matters. I thank you for hearing this prayer, for breathing life into these words, and for enveloping this home in a shield of benevolence that nothing malevolent can penetrate. I trust that even as I speak these words, the transformation is already underway. The energy is shifting, the negativity dissolving, and the flame of goodness burning brighter. I release any lingering doubt or hesitation, placing my faith in the profound truth that love is the greatest power in the cosmos, and therefore the greatest power in this home. May all who enter find blessing, and may they themselves be a blessing in return, so that this place becomes a living testament to the wonders that unfold when we consciously partner with the sacred in all that we do. 35-36. And so I close this prayer with a sense of serenity, knowing that the request has been made, the intention set, and the alliance with the divine reaffirmed. Let this home now and always be a place where hearts expand, burdens are lightened, and spirits rejoice, free from the weight of negative energies and brimming with hope and possibility. In every corner, let there be light. In every interaction, let there be respect. In every struggle, let there be resolution. In every day, let there be gratitude. I offer these words with reverence, trusting that they ascend to the highest realms of love, and that the response is already blossoming in ways seen and unseen, ensuring that this dwelling stands forever blessed, safeguarded, and filled with unshakable peace. Amen. 37, 38, 39, 40. Beloved soul, as you draw breath in this sacred moment, I invite you to reflect deeply on the vow you once made, the vow that united you and your partner in holy matrimony, in the shared hope of building a life of enduring love and companionship. You may recall a day of celebration, perhaps surrounded by the warmth of family and friends, when your hearts overflowed with the promise of a future bound by unity, trust, and unbreakable devotion. In that moment, the world may have felt full of possibilities, a blank canvas upon which you and your beloved could paint a tapestry of laughter, shared dreams, and cherished memories. Yet as the days passed and life's inevitable trials emerged, you might have discovered that even the brightest tapestry can accumulate shadows of misunderstanding, resentment, hurt, and fatigue. It is with honest recognition of these challenges, and with a steadfast belief in the power of divine grace, that I offer this extended prayer for the strengthening of your marriage and the averting of separation. 41-42. Take a moment to sense the space between you and your beloved. Whether you are physically together now or separated by physical distance, that space, however invisible it may be to the naked eye, is an energetic field where love, hurt, hopes, and fears swirl. This prayer seeks to shine a healing light into that space. It is an invocation that the same power which first brought you together can be renewed here and now, filling every conversation with empathy, every conflict with resolution, and every sorrow with a seed of hope for better days. Acknowledge that all relationships traverse seasons. There are seasons of spring where newness and excitement blossom, seasons of summer where warmth and stability hold strong, seasons of autumn where change and letting go become necessary, and seasons of winter where coldness or distance can sometimes pervade. If your marriage currently feels cold or distant, if you sense the hushed threat of separation lurking in the corners, may this prayer act as the catalyst that reawakens the springtime of your love. 43-44. Allow your mind to settle on the image of your spouse. Perhaps see the face you once gazed upon with awe, filled with gratitude for the presence of this person who chose to walk alongside you. If the image stirs feelings of resentment or heartbreak, do not recoil from those emotions. In the presence of divine mercy, no feeling is invalid, no disappointment is unworthy of being brought into the light. Speak silently from your heart to your partner, even if they are not physically there. I come to this moment of prayer because I still believe that love can be restored, or that our love, though tested, can become even stronger. I relinquish my pride, my fear, my stubbornness, and ask the divine to teach me humility, compassion, and resilience in the face of our struggles. Through this silent confession, you invite the tender hand of grace to intervene, a force that transcends our limited perspectives and can transform even the hardest of hearts. 46. Marriage is more than a legal contract or a social ceremony. It is a spiritual bond in which two souls entwine their paths, weaving threads of trust, passion, friendship, and mutual growth into a tapestry that reflects the Creator's intention for unity. Yet, in the day-to-day reality, it can be easy to lose sight of that transcendent purpose. Pressures from work, financial stress, extended family conflicts, health challenges, the responsibilities of parenthood, and even unhealed wounds from childhood can converge to create an undercurrent of tension. If left unaddressed, that tension can erode the foundation that once felt so stable. This prayer acknowledges these burdens and asks for divine intervention to lift them, or at least to provide the strength to bear them without allowing them to fracture your union. Reflect on the weight each of you carries: responsibilities, unspoken fears, regrets, or disappointments. Let these weights be brought into the presence of a loving higher power, who can guide you both toward solutions that neither of you might see on your own. 48. Now, breathe slowly and deeply. Let the air that fills your lungs remind you that even in moments of silence, there is a living force sustaining you. Invite that force into your marriage, asking it to sustain the bond you share with your spouse, even if anger or frustration has built walls between you. Prayer can soften the mortar of those walls, allowing cracks of understanding to form, even if neglect or a slow drift of emotional distance has left you wondering if the other person still cares. A sincere invitation to divine grace can kindle embers that have lain dormant beneath layers of routine. This is not about ignoring what is broken. Rather, it is about trusting that no brokenness is beyond the scope of divine mending. In this prayer, we do not turn away from reality, but we approach it with the hope that faith can empower us to reshape it. 50. Remember the early days of your love, those first sparks of connection, when every exchange felt alive with potential. Perhaps you stayed up late into the night, talking about dreams and goals, or felt butterflies at the thought of simply holding your beloved's hand. Those memories, while they may feel distant, still hold a kernel of truth about the resonance you share. In prayer, ask for the renewal of that sense of wonder, not in a naive or nostalgic way, but in a manner that respects the growth and changes you have both undergone. In these years together, you are not the same people who first said "I do." You each carry new lessons, scars, triumphs, and perspectives. May the divine give you both the grace to reintroduce yourselves to one another, to see each other not as static characters from your wedding day, but as evolving souls who still have more to learn, more to discover, and more to give. 52. If the threat of separation is already looming large, if words have been spoken about ending the marriage, or if you sense your partner's heart withdrawing, do not lose hope. Even if you feel powerless to single-handedly change the course of what might feel inevitable, prayer can anchor you in a deeper truth, that love, once given freely, still remains a spiritual reality, one that can be nurtured back to health if both individuals open themselves to the possibility. Yet, prayer is not a means to control or manipulate your spouse's feelings. Rather, it is a way to align your own heart with divine love, so that what you offer your partner flows from a place of authenticity and compassion. If your partner's heart has hardened, Continue to pray that you might respond with gentleness, clarity, and respect, refusing to add more hurt to the existing layers of pain. Let your prayer cultivate the conditions in which reconciliation can flourish, even if it is not guaranteed. Sometimes, the willingness of one heart to remain open can be the spark that reignites hope in the other. 53-54. Let us acknowledge that every marriage is a union of two flawed human beings. Perhaps there have been betrayals, whether large or small. Perhaps there have been harsh words flung in moments of anger, bruising the soul more deeply than either of you realized at the time. Perhaps there has been disappointment around unmet expectations, moments where you felt your partner should have known your needs without you having to speak them. In the swirl of these grievances, it can be tempting to hold on to blame or resentment. However, this prayer is an invitation to surrender those resentments, to allow the divine wisdom to show you how grudges can be loosened from your heart. This does not mean pretending that hurts never occurred. Rather, it means recognizing that continued bitterness can become a barrier to the healing you seek. By placing your grievances in the hands of the divine, you make space for a new chapter to be written, one in which accountability, forgiveness, and genuine efforts to change can all play a part. 55-56. As you continue this long, introspective prayer, ask for the gift of communication. Many separations begin with small misunderstandings that accumulate over time, because neither party felt safe or able to articulate their true feelings. Pray for the courage to speak honestly, to say, "This is what hurts me, and this is what I yearn for," without attacking your partner's character. Likewise, pray for the willingness to listen, not just to the words, but to the emotion behind them. If your partner expresses anger, can you hear the pain that underlies that anger? If they express frustration, can you understand the unmet desire for support or recognition that might be fueling it? Communication in a marriage is not about winning or being right. It is about striving to understand each other's hearts, even when you disagree. Ask the divine to guide your tongue so that your words become vessels of clarity and unity, rather than weapons of division. 57-58. Let your mind dwell on the concept of unity, unity that is deeper than physical proximity or even shared experiences. A unity that is rooted in the knowledge that marriage is a divine covenant, a reflection of the love that the Creator has for humanity, unconditional, patient, and enduring. Reflect on the fact that in many spiritual traditions, marriage is seen as a reflection or sacrament of divine love, meaning that the commitment you made has an eternal dimension. Pray that you may rediscover the sacredness of this covenant, seeing it not merely as a social norm but as a holy partnership blessed with the capacity to transform both individuals into more compassionate, wiser, and more loving souls. When you recognize this sacred calling, disagreements and setbacks, while still painful, no longer have the power to tear you apart so easily. They become challenges that you face as a team, leaning on divine support to guide you through the storm. 59-60. It is also important to consider practical dimensions of your relationship finances, household responsibilities, parenting styles, emotional intimacy, and sexual connection. All of these aspects can be points of contention or sources of mutual fulfillment. As you pray, invite divine wisdom into each specific area of challenge. If finances are a constant source of stress, pray for the guidance to budget effectively, to communicate about spending habits, and to find ways of pooling resources that feel fair and transparent. If differences in parenting styles create friction, pray for the humility to learn from each other and to compromise for the well-being of your children. If sexual intimacy has waned or become a point of conflict, pray for the gentleness and vulnerability to address those issues openly, remembering that physical connection can be a powerful expression of love that renews the marital bond. Prayer does not negate the need for action, but it can inspire you to take wise, grounded steps that foster healing and unity. 61-62. Sometimes external influences can cast a shadow over a marriage, be it friends or relatives who sow seeds of doubt, or cultural narratives that downplay the sanctity of marriage. Pray for discernment about which voices you allow into the sacred circle of your union. While outside perspectives can sometimes be helpful, there are moments when well-meaning individuals can exacerbate conflicts by taking sides or offering misguided advice. Seek a community or mentors who genuinely support the flourishing of your relationship, who champion love, and who encourage accountability without judgment. Invite divine guidance to help you navigate these social dynamics, ensuring that the influences around you reinforce, rather than erode, the commitment you have made. 63-64. In the midst of this prayer, if you sense a stirring in your heart, a nudge to apologize or to forgive, to reach out or to listen more intently, do not push it aside. Often, these small but persistent feelings are the whisper of grace, urging you toward the path of reconciliation. Perhaps you realize you have neglected your spouse's need for affirmation or quality time. Or maybe you see that your pride has prevented you from admitting when you are at fault. The courage to act on these realizations is a significant step in strengthening your marriage. Change often comes in small, daily acts of kindness and sincerity. A gentle word where once there was a snide remark, a willingness to do an extra chore to lighten your partner's burden, a hand reaching out to hold theirs when they least expect it. Pray for the humility to initiate these changes without waiting for your spouse to go first. Love, after all, is not a competition, but a mutual endeavor. Someone must break the cycle of resentment or distance, and it might as well be you, especially if you feel that divine nudge toward greater compassion. 65-66. As you progress in this prayer, visualize a soft, radiant light surrounding both you and your spouse. A light that pulses with every heartbeat, reminding you of the sacredness of the bond you share. Imagine this light as a symbol of divine presence, actively working to mend any fracture in your relationship. Let it envelop you both, dissolving the walls of self-protection or anger that may have grown taller with each unresolved conflict. Let this light resonate with warmth, signifying a rekindling of affection, a stirring of desire, a renewal of respect. In your mind's eye, see the two of you stepping closer to one another, not necessarily erasing all disagreements, but standing together in a spirit of unity that far outweighs the differences. Pray that this vision moves from the realm of imagination into the real, tangible world of your everyday interactions. 67-68. If children are part of your household, remember that they are profoundly affected by the emotional climate between their parents or caregivers. Pray not just for your marriage, but for the home environment you both create. Children learn about love, conflict, forgiveness, and resilience by observing how you speak to and treat one another. Ask for the strength and wisdom to model healthy communication, to let them witness that while disagreements happen, they can be resolved through calm discussion, mutual respect, and a commitment to understanding rather than domination. If you have already navigated conflict in front of them, consider also showing them your reconciliation. Let them see that wounds can be healed, that forgiveness is real, and that love endures despite imperfections. This sets a precedent for their future relationships, teaching them that no bond worth having is exempt from challenges, but every challenge is an opportunity for deeper connection. 69-70. Let us also pray for patience, because the restoration of a strained marriage is rarely instantaneous. Deep wounds require time to heal, and trust that has been eroded through betrayal or repeated conflict cannot be rebuilt overnight. Patience means allowing your spouse the freedom to process emotions at their own pace, even if you are ready to move forward more quickly. Patience means resisting the urge to constantly reopen old arguments. It requires trusting in the slow but steady work of grace, which can operate beneath the surface, transforming hearts in ways invisible to the naked eye. Each day you choose patience, you plant a seed of hope in the soil of your marriage, a seed that may take time to sprout, but will eventually bear fruit in the form of renewed closeness, gentleness, and mutual admiration. 71-72. In all these things, do not neglect the nourishment of your own spirit. Sometimes, a marriage stumbles when each individual fails to care for their own mental, emotional, and spiritual well-being, expecting the relationship to compensate for internal voids. Prayer can guide you to practices of self-care, whether that be journaling, seeking counseling, engaging in creative pursuits, exercising, or spending time in nature that replenish your sense of wholeness. The stronger and more centered you are as an individual, the more you can bring a balanced, loving presence to your marriage. Pray for the courage to face your own personal growth areas, to confront habits or insecurities that might be contributing to marital strife. When you commit to healing yourself, you indirectly contribute to healing your relationship. 73-74. As this extended prayer continues, invite gratitude into your heart. Even if your marriage has reached a low point, recall the moments of connection, support, laughter, and companionship that you have shared. Let those memories serve as reminders that your union has not been defined solely by conflict or hardship. Consider expressing thanks for small daily blessings, perhaps your spouse's willingness to do something thoughtful, or a memory of a vacation where you both felt genuinely happy. Gratitude does not invalidate the genuine pain you may be facing. Rather, it allows you to see the marriage through a wider lens, one that acknowledges both struggles and joys. This perspective can often deflate the belief that all has been lost, revealing instead a history of love and commitment that deserves to be honored and rebuilt. 75-76. Now, if you feel comfortable, place a hand over your heart, symbolically opening yourself to receiving this blessing. Whisper words of affirmation about your relationship. Our love is worth fighting for. We are stronger together than apart. Where two or more are gathered in divine name, miracles are possible. Feel free to personalize these affirmations, tailoring them to the core values you and your spouse share. Maybe you share a faith tradition that you can invoke, or maybe you rely on a more universal sense of spiritual connection. In either case, the essence remains the same. You are calling upon a higher power to sanctify your commitment, trusting that you are not alone in this journey. It can be comforting to remember that countless couples have walked paths similar to yours, and many have emerged with deeper intimacy and newfound hope. 77-78. If separation has already taken place physically or emotionally, and you are reading or listening to this prayer from a distance, hold tight to the possibility of reconciliation. Even if your spouse's heart seems closed, prayer can keep your own heart open and clear of bitterness. Let it guide you in deciding how best to reach out, whether through letters, messages, or gentle conversations. Let it show you when to stand firm and when to offer compromise. The path to restoration may be winding and uncertain, but remain faithful in your efforts. Sometimes, it is precisely at the moment when all seems lost that a surprising breakthrough appears, a shift in perspective, an unexpected apology, or a recognition of how much love still lingers beneath the layers of hurt. 79-80. Marriage is a deeply human dance, but in its highest form, it mirrors the divine dance of compassion, mercy, and unity that animates the entire universe. Let this understanding infuse your prayer with reverence. You are not simply trying to salvage a legal union or preserve a convenient arrangement. You are guarding a sacred space where two hearts can witness and nurture one another's spiritual evolution. Ask that every mistake and victory, every laugh and tear, become part of a grand mosaic that reflects the courage of love. Ask that you and your spouse might one day look back on these trying times as a crucible from which your bond emerged stronger and more authentic. 81-82. As this prayer nears its conclusion, take a few final moments to rest in stillness. Envision yourself standing side by side with your spouse, hand in hand, both of you bathed in an aura of divine protection. Let that aura radiate outward, encompassing your entire home, your family, and all the circumstances that impact your marriage. Within this radiant presence, conflicts do not magically disappear, but the strength and clarity to address them flourish. Let your hearts bow in humility, acknowledging that you alone cannot fix everything. But with divine help, you can persevere, grow, and rediscover the joy of companionship that once ignited your souls. 83, 84. In the quiet aftermath of this prayer, trust that the wheels of grace are in motion. Resist the urge to measure immediate results, as spiritual transformations often unfold at a pace that transcends human timelines. Instead, commit to living each day with a renewed sense of intention, letting your words and actions align with the hope you have placed in the divine. If you stumble, and surely there will be moments of imperfection, return to this prayer or to your own personal devotions, recentering yourself in love and humility. Little by little, you may find that your marriage begins to shift, like a dark sky gradually lifting to reveal the first streaks of dawn. Even if the transformations happen in subtle ways at first, celebrate them. 4 small steps can herald great changes. 85, 86. Know that you do not undertake this journey alone. Countless couples worldwide yearn for the same healing, the same renewal of vows, the same rekindling of intimacy. In a sense, your prayer is linked to theirs, forming a collective appeal to the powers of love that undergird our shared humanity. May you be strengthened by this knowledge, and may your faith be bolstered by the realization that marriages everywhere are being restored. Hearts are being softened, and unity is being reborn in households that once teetered on the brink of dissolution. What happens in your marriage is part of a larger tapestry, weaving through countless stories of hope and resilience. 87, 88. Let the final words of this prayer serve as a declaration of your commitment to see this through. I consecrate my marriage into the hands of divine grace, trusting that with honesty, compassion, and unwavering love, all things are possible. In that spirit, may the bond between you and your spouse be fortified, guarded against the storms of life, and brought to a deeper realization of what it means to love another human being fully, faithfully, and without reservation. May any thought of separation be replaced with a shared vision of growth, a rededication to kindness, and an eagerness to journey onward as partners in life and spirit. And may the peace that surpasses all understanding guide you both, today and for all the days yet to unfold. Amen.